Okay, I'm assuming that all of you have your packets out. If you don't have a packet, make sure at the front of the room you get one. And it is not gonna look like this yet because we started last time. So this first session should have some stuff written in it. I'm just gonna do a random example of 5 things that were written down. We had 5 bullet points. You had something last time. It wasn't those ones specifically, but hopefully you have something written down. Today, all you're doing is pretty much just rinse and repeat. So whatever number you had, remember that number is from the back when you did the math, right here. How many did you get right? How many places do you have left? How many days do you have to learn it? Which is 5 days, 5 class periods, that's why. On the front, there are 5 sessions, because on session 6 is the test that goes on your grade. It's out of 35. So you're just gonna learn 5 every time, or if you got 6 as your goal, you're gonna learn 6 every time. If you don't learn 6 every time, if you don't learn 5 every time, catch up. I mean, you have to get it by the end for the test if you want the points. And as we kind of talked about, the more you have to do at the end, you procrastinate and have to do 20 the night before the test. It is a lot harder, it takes more time, and it's not as effective. So you won't get as good of a grade. So here's what I recommend. Pick 5 places, unless your number is 6, whatever your number is, for session 2, and do the same thing with bullet points. But remember that the way you pick places needs to make sense. Like, you could do random, but it's not as helpful, especially if we're gonna use some things to help you memorize. If you're trying to memorize the top country and the bottom country and this one in the middle, you're kind of all over the place. So what I recommend, on page 3, there's this, it's got a list of countries, and on that page is your answer map. I would use this if it were me to write down my countries, because that way I know that they're together. So these 5 were on the first example. They were all touching, and you can read it like a book, left to right, top to bottom, starting with South America, if that's what you want to do today. That's what I did for my example. 5, I'm doing 5 more. I don't have to do Mexico because I got that one right on the pretest. So I'd probably just start with the next one, and like a book, left to right, top to bottom, pick the next 5, which are going to be Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua. So I'm going to write those down on the front page, right here. So let me erase these dots. And I'll learn those 5 today. Next week when you come, I'll see you on Tuesday. Is this column right here, and page 3. That's what check off means right here. We'll talk more about it on Tuesday, because I'm not going to make you do it today. So you're supposed to get a stamp. I'm going to do that on Tuesday. If you didn't get a stamp for the first session, I know a full class period, I just didn't do that, and then it was kind of hit or miss with the other ones. That's fine. When I come back on Tuesday, I'll stamp that. I will stamp this on Tuesday, but normally you get a stamp every day. That's, if you look over here where it says stairs, that's the first S stamp. When you come in, you do this, you get a stamp, and we move on. So once you have that done, you are technically done with the packet today. Homework is to know where they're at before I see you on Tuesday, and there's a couple ways to do that. We're going to do an activity a little bit. in a couple minutes actually, where the sub's gonna pass out papers to kind of help you with what we've been talking about. So make sure you pay attention, and I will see you on Tuesday.